Because these people, they want what they want and they do what they do. However, I don't know how they function, but hey, it is what it is. You can never study this department enough, actually. No, I've just, you know what, let things be. And you'll hear others saying, leave this thing alone. If it wants you, it shall find you wherever you are. 20 minutes into the third and final hour of the show, I do have my guest here with me. He goes by the name Historian Poet. Actually, Historian Poet is not his real name, but that's his stage name. Most of you know him as Historian Poet. His name is Abi Sepati. Yeah, I hope I'm pronouncing the name correctly. I'm pronouncing it correctly.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. He's a poet. He's a model. He's an actor. I think I can call him that. He's an artist. He's a man of many talents. You did hear that voice there. You did hear that voice. But good morning.
Morning, my dear.
How are you?
As the historic verse says, barbarism has overtaken civilization, but we are still alive.
Jehovah. That is amazing. That is so nice. Do you program your voice or it's like that?
One way to the other, the impulse of it is just somehow automatically it just turns on. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's introduce you to something before we get into the conversation even in more details. But before that, let me just quickly do this. 88
The ingredients of significance and love. Mjolo the pandemic, as though hearts had bones to be busted and bruised and fused. How suicidal it is to date, yet more dreadful and deadly to ignore affection. Like a good carpenter, to measure twice for only a single cut. Below, the rata will reply after 2 days.
That is so true.
Logic
Oh, that is so true.
We are all the victims of Mujolo.
Bruh. If you ever love someone so bad, they're not even there.
Exactly.
But she that dares not the thorns should never play for the rose.
Wow.
Silver fountains from mud, clouds and earth stains both moon and stars. Such civil war turns love from hate, from logic to passion. So till Juke do us apart, let us run in peace.
Wow. Yeah. What Mjolo the pandemic?
Mjolo the pandemic.
Please tell us a little bit about this one.
It was right after Makadzi Asino released the song Mujolo Wanyisa.
Yeah.
Featuring Mlindo.
Yeah, I think was that last year.
Last year. And I was dating a vendor girl.
Oh, and then and what happened?
So during that time, so we all need assurance.
Yeah.
We all need assurance, and somehow she went to a party without informing me. We were still in the early stage of our relationship.
Yeah.
And it still hurts even today. Ooh. But I've written the best poem, I guess, so far.
Yeah.
And so what went on, Gorim, she met her ex there, and they had fun, this, howsoever. And she called me Ka 11.
Yeah.
Or not Ka 11 o'clock. Okay, sharp. So the worst case scenario, like go extension for deep Sloot.
Yeah.
And then sharp. The worst case scenario, Thomas.
Yeah. I'm
just the neighbor of it.
Yeah.
So during that time, got that late hour, because no great text. But you know,
exactly.
So got that hour, Babeta Mujolo the pandemic. And I'm like, yes,
you are going through.
I'm going through.
So tell me, how did you find out that she's at a party?
You know everything about because people fell over what
Yeah.
So one way to the other, her coming to seeing me, to chumija dia phone. Hey, when I felt like I'm a guy, okay, and that you didn't inform them or happy, whatsoever. So okay, sharp. I didn't sleep.
Yeah.
During the night, here's something about a poet. I'm not speaking for myself alone.
Yeah.
Somehow something that it whispers to us.
Yeah.
I get it? And then we write a line.
Yeah.
We reserve it.
Yeah.
And somehow our impulse gets to connect and reflect with what we have gone through the past month.
Yeah.
And then we know we have written something and put it into a place of safety, that when somehow when the mind gets to slap back, or okay, now you are in activation, you are in feeling now, go back and finish that piece.
Yeah.
So one way to the other, I'm like, okay, sharp. The pandemic into working Wajola 99, and that will be a fine line to close it.
Yeah.
And somewhere along the line, I found the words coming and going, and then I just began to be patient with it. I get it. And so what influences more better go once it's an problem. One thing about women that I've learned, once you go a certain type of an issue, you won't sleep.
Yeah.
So I could run from it to that text like and turn it into a poem. And then from there, my friend Lala Skolofela and Mr. Mjula the pandemic from there on. So he gets to recognize me by that heartbreak.
So when you listen to this poem of yours, doesn't it remind you of the lady?
You know, Buffalo Berry experience is the key.
Yeah.
You get to heal and get past through that.
Ne?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, let me welcome you officially to the show because we just hit and we just accelerated. Thank you for your time, man. Thank you for
I appreciate you.
And for those who, if you've just tuned in, this is historian poet. His real name is A.B. Sepati. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's actually please you'll correct me if I'm not mentioning the correct things. You're a poet.
Yes,
you're
ma'am.
A model.
Yes, ma'am.
You're an actor.
Yes, ma'am.
What else are we missing? You're a husband, father.
No, I'm actually a potential boyfriend to some lady right now.
Yeah, potential.
Okay, sure. Hence I'm giggling right now.
Wow.
Okay, so I'm a host. I've started my own show. What's Your Code?
Yeah.
And I do program directing, preferably, as the public knows, MC.
Yeah.
So I'm also a brand ambassador. You could see Historian Poet is a brand itself. But then furthermore that I'm a promoter. So when somebody gets to ask, okay, Shap, I've got this brand, could you please advertise it? Wearing it could do much for me. So there's a couple of folks that are coming in right after the show that I've went through, Korai. Soulful Poetry Session. There's been some bit of requests regarding Tawaya. Okay, you seem quite eligible guy for being a brand ambassador, and there's that quite vocal. So let's try to create a platform for you getting to advertise our brand. And so far, I'm putting my brand quite out there, quite beautifully so far.
And you're doing very well. Yeah. So in just a few words, you are born you were born in Limpopo.
Yes, ma'am.
Raised in Limpopo.
Yes, ma'am.
And sometime you're like, you know what? It's time for me to hit the road. I've been with you guys for some time. What motivated you to come this side?
This is not a special story.
Yeah.
Okay, so Keferije Metric 2017.
2017.
Yeah. So 2017, 2016. Okay, yeah. 2016, 2017.
Yeah.
So I wanted to go UL and do performing arts and also become a teacher.
Oh, yeah.
Now, this is where my historian poet comes in. So me wanting to be a teacher was influenced by a gentleman, Mr. Maleb.
Oh,
still today, I still honor him. In his first appearance, he came out with the quote, nothing could, there's nothing permanent on earth than change.
Yeah. Where was he teaching you at?
Ramatope High School.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody
That's nice.
So from there on, ke tswa ntwe ba re ke ka Bochum.
Yeah.
That's where I got to venture into modeling, being more fluent into poetry and this, that,
Yeah,
howsoever. And from there on, everything began to divulge itself and dissolve itself into portables, the kind of things, to a point whereby today in Bochum for me, it has done great wonders for me.
Ne?
Yeah.
Yeah, while we're still there, let's come to the name historian poet.
Yeah.
How did it come about?
So I had 5 friends.
Yeah.
And in my first becoming of a poet, knowing what I'm a poet, in specifically, I'm going to mention them.
Yeah.
They still mean a lot to me today.
Yeah,
so there was this beautiful lady Goskolo, the most beautiful one, Moiloring. I could see her, the photos, America, the supermodel. So So now, she was too beautiful to a point whereby Anna Lina last paid.
Ne?
From there on.
Oh. Why Matlakala? Out of all names, bro.
So I wanted to dissolve her beauty into something ordinary.
Oh, yeah.
So then I had a best friend, and whom is still my best friend even today.
Yeah.
Mutabotite.
Yeah.
So, I grew up being a bully.
Yeah.
A bully goes through a certain kind of a stage whereby he needs attention.
Wait, you were bullying others?
Yeah, and he was my last victim.
Okay, carry on.
Okay, so I've changed.
Yeah.
Okay, the guy somehow, he began to be a friend.
Yeah.
I had the confidence. I had everything quite in order.
Yeah.
But when I just didn't have the ability to present myself in a way that he can.
Yeah.
And one thing about friends, but show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are.
That's true.
So now, through his friendship, he got to put a smile on my face.
Nee.
I always told him, Orbon, if Trevor Noah was to come to Limpopo, I'd get tickets 100 rand or even 10 rand. I wouldn't go there. I would spend a day with him.
Nee.
Okay, sharp. My first poem was about him and Shelley. So it was directly to him through the girl. So a girl like you is hard to find. I'm speaking as if I'm the guy. So from there on, the 5 friends, including Yanadijel, his cousins, and Peter, and doing Bargama, the other ones.
Yeah.
So about physics, and I hate maths. Look at texting again, I'm
But maths is amazing.
Okay, for some people,
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, sharp, history.
Yeah.
Physics, I know nothing about the physics whatsoever.
Yeah.
And commerce, no. There's too much calculator there.
Wow. Numbers.
Numbers.
You don't want.
I only know my number. So sharp. From there, karaoke sharp history is for me. But history is for the vocals.
Yeah.
So sharp. All the teachers came through. Your life orientation, your life science, geography, this, that. They came through. None of them had an impact on me.
No.
Mr. Mlepu ile
Ne?
such aura, such energy.
Yeah.
He was.
What was he teaching?
History.
Oh my goodness, yeah. Yeah.
So, the way I are subjecting the subject to us, that made Nora that man.
Ne?
That man. So, from there on that first day, I'm like, okay, sharp. I'm just gonna shake his hand.
Yeah.
I feel like I've just woken up.
Ne?
And then from there on, this lady who somehow made me to feel inferior through Odra physics.
Yeah.
So what went on about him? But principal always had to take care of what Odra physics.
Yeah.
Your science expo, this, that. He can include Odra commerce, this, but nothing for the historians.
Yeah.
That killed my spirit. Project principal. No, you're not fair. What about us? Or what about you, the historians?
Yeah.
And by just the concept of the historians.
Ne?
And then, so the lady, one way to the other, Priscilla, a computer this a bit of an activity. Lord, was held by Gaddafi the poet.
Yeah.
So he came through a couple of times, and then Baranyaga the poets to come and compete with us. So whoever wins, we'll look at a feature and look at Gaddafi. Nikki,
Yes.
I'm going to compete. So the problem on that during that time, Koren, I used to write, but not to memorize my poem.
Oh, yeah.
So the girl beat me on my own game.
How?
You know, everybody has their own instinct. Hey, I think AB is the best until AB gets to perform.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
So she got to evaluate more. Okay, became me on a high note. Now I'm a trap. So on therapy, you know what? So from there on, she won the competition, and I was jealous.
Yeah.
I was jealous because she won the competition and Udra physics.
Yeah.
Class science, stereotype and all that. There's that. And the pain core Priscilla now just added on top of that stereotyping. And from there on, Mr. Mlepo, or how are you? Today I'm going to call myself historian poet. In every dictionary. Everywhere. So calculator behind. One, even the textbook in high school, even they don't know me today. They know when somebody once the trend that was used to happen, but I was here.
Yeah. Especially I think in the bathroom.
Yeah. Yes. So now I wanted to go far and beyond. I know next year by film, next year by film too.
They're
gonna know what a historian poet was here. Exactly.
And I mean, how you are actually explaining it from your history teacher. I didn't do history, by the way.
Yeah.
So, but I loved history. I loved history. I would attend history classes just for fun, because I can.
Yeah.
And also, I also love geography. So, if it was up to me, I would have done history, geography, and economics because I love those three. I did commerce.
Yeah.
So it's and also the me loving history was because of the history teacher. They have that thing.
See what I mean?
They have that thing. You know what? They have that thing.
The spirit of an historian comes from within.
Yeah.
And when you get to speak, it's not how the context of the word, it's your energy through the context of it. That somehow you drive the energy into somebody else. And that's how Mr. Mlepo got to find me.
Those are amazing.
Those are amazing.
Those are amazing. No, that is amazing. So, from you being the historian poet, now the journey is beginning. You're out there making sure that everyone knows historian poet. This is historian poet, and this is where historian poet was. When did you? I mean, you did mention that you were not memorizing your poets and your poems, not poets, your poems. And all of that. When did you see that, you know what, this bullying thing doesn't work for me? I should actually take this serious. And also tell us about your first pageant where you got and competed. I saw your belts, a lot of them with Mr. Mang, Mr. Municipal. Please tell us about that as well.
Memorizing poems.
Yes.
Kitlo mentioned 2 people.
Yeah.
In fact, 3. 2019, when this GBV thing started to be abroad, somebody posted something. Who is my mentor today? And is the director of the play that we are playing today. Jack the Black God. Right from Deep Sloot. This poem, I apologize for what my gender is doing to your gender's flesh. Okay, sure. From that moment, I was like, wow.
That's amazing.
I went in search of him to find out he's a model, an actor, most things that I want to be, I aspire to be. Okay, sure. Let's put that aside. So what happened, I saw the post here, this other guy, the street hustlers. I don't know his name. On Facebook. Also post a banner and I can't remember the context of it quite correctly, but it's more of not help me find a job, or I'm hungry, I need money. No. But he was on the street with that content, but with a different concept. So now, I wanted, the only thing that made me to come into Joburg, marketing. Marketing, I'm leaving Joburg. I had a friend to go Bohom Trinity, so I told him, Joburg. Joburg, what are you going to do to Joburg?
Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah.
That is my favorite.
So the gravity, the same way that you just reacted was like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so what comes
Yeah.
I have been following his work for quite a while.
Yeah.
I've done, because of the guy that I did the banner and CDs that influenced me. For a sharp, you can do this. Now I was with Rachel at that time. Box help me reach Mr. Mzakembuli.
Yeah.
I still have the picture. I want to go Facebook.
Is it?
I still have it. So now it never goes into ages. And then Tita Lord Wonarim, that's a tenacity. Because we did that in you.
That is true.
Yeah, you are an underdog and you're calling out the big dog. Imagine. So now, I got to speak to him on the phone. Connected his marketing director. Godfrey Mlauds. And then sharp, we got to speak in howsoever. Now I needed somebody to coach me into attracting Mr. Mzaki. Who best could I go back to other than Mr. Mleb? He said to me that, do not jump your steps. Take every punch as time goes by. I get it. And then as you face each punch, I get it, you would better your best. Hence today, what's your code? Remember on his first day code classing, he began with a code. Ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, my name is Solimal Salam. Wow.
Amazing.
The teacher history now. I'm going to subject history more. Have your best 5 poems. Have your best 5 poems. And you know wherever you go, when you hit this poem, it's going to be a flow. It's going to be a flow.
Wow.
Rachel by that time. So, he advised me into speaking, how to speak with Mr. Mzwake, this left and right and howsoever. Unfortunately, it didn't come through. It didn't come into fruition. That's not a problem.
We move. It's not a thing.
It's not a thing. We move. And guess what? Jack the Black God. By the same year, while I was mending or being heartbroken, I mean, I've got the voice that is quite similar to him, which is a disadvantage. Because today when I speak or Mutorang Godro, he sounds like Muzwak and we need somebody different. I can't change the gift that was given to me. Sharp. So now, Jack the Black God. Out of nowhere, he was spanning. Mutu shoots a maka slata. And somehow he's ingrained into my DNA, my brain. I know him even from afar.
Wow.
So somehow he was passing Kakolo, extension 4. And right before Theo. And then Rachel and Ambara. Rachel got me into contact with so many people. So sharp. Somebody else on a line. And I don't know, with that hype, damn, I hope it's you. Within a second, I reply, go, what's up? Yo, it's me.
Wow.
Kemo next to Theoma. Pull up.
And then you went there.
I went there. The same two today are the director of the Baguette. The same Baguette that went to Tembisa and reached the top 5. And then for it to become a flex is the fact that we are the only group from Deep Sloot that represents art. And today I'm proud to say that I'm living within the demeanor or the dimension of one of the icons of people that I idolize from my previous life, and which is a dream come true. I mean, he is the impetus, the exact example of dreams come true. From the dusty street of Deep Sloot.
Imagine.
And now, Ubizuflaya, Uyara Bukhoshi Farao. Well, and now he gets to direct us through a play. Now,
Wes, let's just hold it right there.
All right.
When we come back, you'll tell us more about because I think you've mentioned quite a few. You've mentioned quite a few when it comes to the plays and how you how your journey came about up to a certain point. I don't think we are at a point where you've explained up to today.
Nothing at all.
No.
Yeah.
We haven't reached that point, but yeah, let's just take some few minutes and grab some water or something. Here's my goodness. Artist, please make your names pronounceable. Here's Dida Big with Imitabango alongside LDK. I hope I pronounced your name correctly. If I didn't, well, yeah, that was Dida BLK or I don't know, but yeah, I'm sorry. Hey, Imitabango alongside LDK. If there's anything about these artists, they will call themselves names that you don't even know until you hear them.
They pronounce it better.
Exactly. Yeah. I know.
Most people want to be a historical poet. I don't know why.
No, but that's easy. Historian.
It's historian.
It's not.
Now, historian is a person. And a historical is quite an event that happened or took place.
Exactly. I'm sure they just what's this? Misplace or misunderstand the two, or
probably
you know what,
somewhere
they
but
yeah, the historian poet, I don't know why I keep on saying they, but it's historian poet, not they. It's not they. This prefix that I'm always putting through is not they at all. You were still telling us about the journey of meeting these amazing people that have actually put you where you at today. Let's go back to the pageant. I'm actually interested in the pageant.
Okay.
How did the pageant come about?
So now, remember I mentioned the 5 friends that I had?
Yes.
In fact, there were 4. I was the 5th one.
Yes.
All of them studied physics.
Yeah.
Ne? So when I became a friend to Teacher Lomutap, he has a cousin, Bafana, Tonic.
Yeah.
So he was into modeling in high school.
Oh, yeah.
Alongside Le Chofajo. They were the only hit. As well.
Yeah.
So there were only 3 hits. But the masterpiece of the 3rd. And okay, sharp. I had the body, but then I didn't believe in myself.
Yeah.
And part of the things that you have to do one way to the other into maneuvering yourself or getting to uphold yourself is to believe in what you have gifted upon.
True.
So, the guy won Narbonne. While also joining Muslim, you've got the voice, you've got the capability of speaking, you attract attention and also ever.
Yeah. Oh, exactly. Yeah, because you need the
I need those.
Exactly. True.
So what happened now? But then his words stayed in my mind. I went on by the trade that says Bochum for me in good and in bad times.
Yeah.
From there, Babale, this pageant, J. Loring, I can't remember the first one that took place, but I was the first prince. And that was the start.
Yeah.
And I go by the code that says, in fact, I hate this lines. Yeah, hello, my name is what I go by the code. I hate that. I hate that.
Yeah.
It's quite immature.
Ooh, what do you want?
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is historian poet, darling of the people. Now, on today's code, nothing can resist the will of the people. That will stake even their existence on instead of their purpose for good. That when you have a made-up mind, that when you have the power, the ability to face defeat again and again without giving up, This is a winner's quality. Now we all have that quality within us. When you get to inflict faith into people with your code, or one way to the other, you are. But first impressions last forever. I get it?
Yeah.
So, for me to get to practice my skills as a speaker, as a poet now, and how about getting to work it? Imagine now being the Denzel Washington of South Africa, and then giving this walk, maneuvering walk, and the earth, if the earth was a woman, one way to the other, with each footstep she would get goosebumps. So I was the first queen. You go get a queen. Hola, hola, the queen. The first princess.
Yeah,
ne?
the first prince.
Yeah,
Prince.
the first prince.
Yeah.
So the first prince, and that was the start of everything.
Yeah.
And then Wabali, Mr. Valentine.
Yeah.
Bohom's number one. Okay. When you start to practice your will, if you know the why for everything, then you can do almost anyhow. You can almost endure anyhow. Sharp, I enter the patient into Mr. Valentine, and I came up on top. I enter Mr. Snowaran. I was the first one to hold 2 belts. The reigning, defending, undefeated model of the year, 2017.
Yeah.
And from there on, when people get to see you from a certain stage, over performing quite all right. Now that's telemarketing. You get to one way to the other, they get to remember, I saw this guy with kind of physique, kind of voice. And then they get to mention you when a lady patient elsewhere. I don't want to lie, ne? From 2017 until 2019, there's nobody in Bochum who has held much belts as I did.
When you do, like, it's, you can actually not wear a shirt and just put them on, put them on. The way there are so many. But also, because of time, we are left with 3 minutes before we just wrap up at the show. We don't want to be paying fines here. So just tell us here. I think we're really gonna have you again, just to film, because it's the stories are a lot, but time is limited.
It's limited.
You know.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So what advice would you give to the younger self who is in Deep Sloot? Probably they don't even know where to start. They're at a point where they think they don't have they don't believe in themselves as much as you think they should believe in themselves, and also they don't have the kits. I mean, you can't just show up and want to be doing the pageants without the kits. You must have the kits. You must have the all those words and whatnot. And what advice do you have for those?
2 quotes from Les Brown. Our life is a gift from God, and what we live with our life is our gift to God. Life is a gift from God, and what we do with our life is our gift to God. And what kind of gifts would you give if fear wasn't an issue? And then what I'm asking to you, Gore, what fears are holding you back, holding you back not to achieve whatever goal that it is? And the second one, life is a fight for territory. And once you stop fighting for what you want, what you don't want will automatically take over. In preferences, this literally says to you, Bon, we all have fear, insecurities, this, that, it's normal. I get it. But once you okay, because I have fear, I'm going to leave it there. Now the fear is going to hold you. You are no longer going to have the fear. Now the fear is going to have you. There's a different, it's a matter of shareholder, who's having who, right here.
True.
So I believe, just try to explore your senses and see what best vision of yourself you could become. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Hey, thank you for pulling through. Thank you for your time. Hey,
I appreciate that.
Hoyo about an historian poet. I mean.